Hey, getting ready to head off. It's 6:30 here in Canberra. I need to get to Sydney now, okay, to catch the 1 p.m. flight back to Malaysia. So here is the Kia Carnival which I rented for the journey. Okay, the arrangement is that I picked up the car here in Canberra, drive it straight to Sydney Airport, refuel it first, and then return it right there at Sydney Airport before we depart. Okay, so this is the Kia Carnival, Australia spec. As you can see from the steel rims, base model, comes with a 3.3 liter V6 petrol engine. Yep, so fuel bills are going to be properly thirsty. Here's an interior of the car, dashboard, manual sliding doors. Okay, so for an extra $11, Thrifty provided us with a rear-facing child seat. Okay, right. So initially, I had actually booked a Holden Commodore wagon. Okay, since sudah datang Australia, I thought I'd like to experience driving one of their local specials. But apparently, due to car unavailability, they gave me a free upgrade. I'm not sure mechanically considers as an upgrade, but they give us a free upgrade to this Kia. So a more spacious car for the travel. All our luggage on board. Got an extra suitcase of things here, but this is basically the same stuff we brought over from Malaysia. Alright, baby's strapped on board. Yeah. Okay, so the Carnival is a 3-row 7-seater MPV. The third row seats are already stowed away nicely down here, so it formed a very flat loading floor. Very convenient. Okay, time to depart. And this is Torres Street. Now this is the kind of scene that gives you the feeling of driving in Angmo country. Max. Okay, 200 kilometers to Sydney.
Continue straight for 2 hours and 7 minutes to M5 Southwestern Motorway.
It's about like us driving from KL to Ipoh, like that punya distance, but a lot more boring. Oh, okay, this is New South Wales border already. So when I first got this car, right, it's a very Kosong spec car, steel wheels and all that. But amazingly, it has reverse camera. It has cruise control. You will wonder why do we need cruise control, right? But in a place like Australia where speed limits are so tightly enforced, right, cruise control is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity, because they will summon you. But if you exceed the speed limit by just 5-10 kilometers per hour, it's very easy to kena. So safest way to travel on the highway without kena summon is cruise control. But I think speed limits are just bullshit, man. Whichever the ding dong who invented speed cameras deserve to rot in hell. So okay, here's a speed limit problem. I'm driving at 110 kilometers per hour just at the speed limit. Now I'm overtaking this lorry. Normally in Malaysia, I will just tekan and speed pass. I'll pass this lorry with no fuss whatsoever. But because I cannot exceed the speed limit, I have to slowly jalan lepas the fella. And if I were to come up to a car, say driving at 105 while I'm going at 110, it's going to take a long time for me to get past that car. It means that during that whole time, the two cars are side by side. And if there is, say, a kangaroo jump in front of our path, how are we going to avoid? We're going to avoid into each other. I'm not saying speeding is a good idea, but I think there should be a more sensible way to control speeds of cars. Because yes, you shouldn't be driving too fast on the road, but you cannot just set an arbitrary number on and determine that as a safe speed for any given stretch on the road and say, "Pap, that is a safe speed." You cannot. speed is the safe speed of any given road at any given time depends on the road conditions and traffic conditions. So setting an arbitrary speed limit doesn't make sense to me at all. Okay, so another instance, I'm now doing 110. In front there is a car that's presumably doing 108 or 109 thereabouts. So I'm closing the distance in, but I cannot just simply decide to speed past that car. But see, right now I'm moving at this distance from that car. It is actually very dangerous because I can, if let's say that car faces an emergency, then I may langgar the fella. So now it's slowing down a bit. I'm going to pass this car, and I'm already at 110, so I cannot drive faster than 110. And I'm trying to slowly inch my way past this car. Inching. Pass. Okay, I see the car in my side mirror. So this Kia Carnival has a 3.3 litre V6 engine up front. Yeah. In Malaysia, we get the Carnival with a 2.2 diesel, which honestly I would have preferred that engine for this journey because fuel in Australia is expensive, and having to refuel a 3.3 litre MPV with Australian dollars is going to feel expensive. But this is a smooth powertrain. The engine revs smoothly, and it feels quite refined. Quite muscular as well. The mid-range of it is strong, so it doesn't feel underpowered like it would if it had, say, a 2.4 or 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine. So it's the driving feel for this engine is pretty good. Ride comfort is pretty okay too. My only complaint of the whole driving aspect is actually the steering. The steering just feels very weak. The resistance of the steering as you turn is also quite unpredictable, and it's not assuring. Certainly nowhere near as nice to drive as a Ford S-Max. Okay, that's an unfair benchmark. Toilet break at a rest area. Check out this view. It's beautiful. Apologies if my camera can't capture this quite well, but it's a stunning wide open plain of grass here. Okay, so let's take a look at the center console. So this little slot here to put my phone, and with a USB port. There's a cup holder here. Please excuse the mess. Okay, this is okay. So here, this is one you can open center storage area. This you can slide this front and back, and this area inside. Oh, very deep, man. See this pouch? Masuk inside, deep. Pretty decent. And inside here, there's a USB port, 12-volt socket. Slide it back up. Oh, check this out. Even base spec also get reverse camera. I think this car, reverse camera is a necessity. Okay, we are halfway towards Sydney. And to be frank, I am tired, I'm bored, totally disengaged, totally disinterested in the driving. It's just a monotonous stretch of road, and yeah, open road, kept at 110 kilometers per hour, so I actually have to divide my attention to what's happening on the road and what's happening in my speedometer. Yeah, bloody. Alright, so we are driving into Sydney. Traffic appears to be heavy. I'm going to need about half an hour to cover 28 kilometers. Nearing Sydney Airport, crying baby at the back, and traffic jam in front. So I'm about 10 kilometers from the airport, but before I return the car, I need to have it refueled, otherwise I'll kena some surcharge lah. So now need to find a petrol station, refuel this car, and then later return it. And I have to do all this without too much delay, otherwise I'll miss my flight. Now the time is 10:30, flight is 1 o'clock. Okay, made it to Sydney Airport just in time. There was a bit of drama along the way, traffic jam. Then I had to stop to refuel the car, and then once we reached the airport vicinity, we had trouble locating the return bay to return the rental car. But well, there was a bit of a rush, and we were not 100% sure we made it, but well, glad we did. So now we are here waiting to check in. Alright, safely just about reached the departure gate, and yeah, we only got about, I think, 5 minutes before the gate opens. So really this time just ngam only. Lesson learned from this this experience. I think the next time if I were to try something like this, right, I would probably have driven to Sydney, spent the night here, next day only fly out. That would have given me way more comfortable, you know, transit process. But as it stands, also I needed to get back to Malaysia quickly to settle my affairs and also get back to work. Anyways, that's our plane outside there. I don't know if you can get a glance of it. You can get a glance of it here, right here. So you can get it, okay? So that's Malaysian Airlines A380, which we will be flying today. My first time flying the A380 with MAS. Previously I've flown the A380 with Emirates on some of my work trips before, so this is my first time flying MAS being A380. Yeah. As we all know, MAS is not going through a good patch in its history, but I've always had a soft spot for this airline. It's a symbol of our national pride, so hopefully one day the planes of MAS will roam the skies proudly again. Okay, so we are safely on board. Hi, Zuen. Hi. Hi. Now waiting to take off. Hi. We are on air now. We are in the air now, right? So mommy's eating. Mommy's eating. Well, the air crew recognized that, you know, you've got a baby to take care of, so parents are served first. They serve one first, and then, you know, so that you can take turns to jaga the baby while the other. Okay, we're about halfway through our flight. Baby has been quite well behaved. She have a few poos and ahs moment, but generally one of the better behaved babies on this plane today. So I think maybe about 3 or 4 hours before we reach KL and back home. Yay, we are disembarking. Oh yes, it's always good to be home. Alright, now in the terminal building of KLIA. My mother just went off to the washroom. Wife and daughter have just headed home with my sister-in-law in the Persona because we brought back an extra suitcase. So the Persona is on its way here, sending us here already, right? We max out the luggage capacity of that car. So as a result, now that because we bring one large extra suitcase back, there's no more room for all of us lah. So now my wife and my daughter follow my sister-in-law home with most of our luggage. I am taking a taxi with my mother to her house. Okay, so parting thoughts of this journey. Oh yeah, I didn't manage to show just now, but this time around we brought our GB pocket stroller with us onto the flight. Because it's folded so compactly, it fit nicely in the overhead luggage compartment. Yeah, so because we came back in an A380, big plane, big space, a lot of space, big suitcase compartment. Yeah. So my baby was relatively well behaved most of the time. She did merajuk a bit here and there, but well, this one really have to thank my wife lah for doing a fabulous job managing her. She can be quite a handful at times, this little girl of mine, but yeah, my wife was able to keep a lid on her. There were spells that she was shouting about in the cabin, a bit paiseh, but Nobody seemed too annoyed. At least if they were annoyed, they didn't voice it out to us. There were other children on the plane which were a bit noisier. So concluding thoughts, traveling with a kid really is a whole new experience altogether lah. Quite tiring.